It's been a while. It has been a while since the morning cardio went down earlier. So now at 2:30, it's time for chest and another hour. Another hour of either straight up seated bike or potentially a little bit of a combo of a seated bike and incline treadmill, whichever pairing ends up making more sense. But yeah, I've been waking up like crazy early. My sleep schedule is nuts. And like not nuts in like a not getting any sleep way. It's like I was to bed at 8, got up at 4. This is getting kind of funky because I'm like I've been finishing my cardio, coming back home, the sun isn't even up, and then I almost like go back to bed. Like I don't go to sleep, I just kind of sit there for a little while before I really start getting up. Yeah, it feels kind of cool. And then now I don't have to deal with, thinking to myself, oh crap, the gym's about to close. Yeah, nice little early lift. This is good. It's good to be on kind of a good, consistent schedule like that. Now the meals so far, breakfast right after cardio was 60 grams of protein, 8 ounces of a Costco turkey block, chopped up into real kind of small little cubes-ish, 2 soft-boiled eggs, and then a pack of steamed broccoli and cauliflower with some G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce on top and a little bit of kind of granulated like fancy salt. Now, turkey, eggs, broccoli, cauliflower, barbecue sauce, that might not sound like it would really do it for you, and I don't blame you per se, but extremely filling for only the cost of 360 calories. That's how all my meals are looking right now. Apart from the ones where I say, all right, I'm having a frozen yogurt bar. Or all right, I'm going to have a low-carb, high-fiber sandwich bread with some sliced ham on top and then some melted fat-free cheese, like little sort of trick foods like that. But for the most part, there's not much room for snacking, man, because it's like, what's a snack? I would say on average, a snack from anybody's sort of value system is going to be minimum 300 calories, like 300 calories minimum. One little snack-sized bag of like Doritos or like chips or anything, that's 200 calories right there. And odds are you don't keep those in your pantry. You keep a full family-sized bag of whatever, and then you sit there for a couple of minutes, just snacking away, not a care in the world, loving it. But dude, you just had 500 calories of chips. That's not nothing, So it's not so much room for error. And I'm still yawning because I haven't drank the pre-workout yet. I'm gonna wait until I get a little bit closer to the gym. But playing for chest, I feel really good. I got a reasonably empty stomach because after I had my meal of those kind of ham and cheese melts at like 10-ish, something along those lines, I organized, did some laundry, took a nap, drank a bunch of like Powerade Zeros, which I'm definitely leaning towards more than the Gatorade Zeros, because the Gatorade Zeros still have some carbs, so they're not zero. What the heck? So I'm hydrated, I'm rested, I'm as fed as I'm gonna be, and I feel good. I got a good attitude. Everything's going well right now. I like it. And then to keep me out of the house a little bit, because the longer that I'm not, given immediate access to the kitchen, the less likely it is that I'm gonna, grab some kind of treat here, grab some kind of snack here. I got a bunch of Amazon returns I gotta send back. Some to UPS, some to FedEx. So that's the plan for after this lift. Make a couple of pit stops, then come home for a post-workout meal of what is probably gonna be, yeah, I know what it's gonna be. Big ass salad, salt, pepper, vinegar, side bowl, ground beef, GQ sugar-free barbecue sauce, fat-free cheese, microwaved, all kind of melted up together. That is going to be absolutely freaking perfect. But that's not going to be for like 3.5 or so hours from now. So that is the nice thing about being at the gym and working out, is I never like I'm getting deep, right? Like, this is a legit deficit. I never feel like hunger is a distracting force during the workouts themselves. Like, I never come into the gym and think, oh my god, I'm freaking starving. Like, I mean, you get the pre-workout, you get the caffeine in your system, you're kind of amped up, and then you're amped up and energized. Something about that, it's very distracting, in a good way, because I don't want to be thinking about how hungry I am. So all that's to say is, these next couple of hours when I'm working out, doing the cardio, doing the chest day, doing everything, I'm not really going to be pressed about how hungry I am. That's going to be for after, when I get home and I know there's all sorts of food around. Gotta stay diligent. But all that's to say is, within the hour, I can guarantee I'm going to have a freaky chest pump, and then I'm going to pick a bike to camp out on, and I'll see you on the drive back. Let's start with some more of this incline cable press. This is a perfect start to last chest day, and it's kind of classic for guys to say, you should never start the same chest day with the same movement or the same lift with the same... Look, man, if it works, it works. Obviously, change it up, but I know this is going to be a good starter. Now I just want to pair it with a good song. Okay. Oh, geez. One or two more like that. Okay. All right. Oh, let's move on. That's a perfect 3 opening sets, though. This will be kind of a decline-ish set of flies, but it's not just lower chest. Like, when I get to the bottom, I'm going to feel my whole chest flexing, but there's just a different sort of stretch when my hands are being pulled up instead of just being pulled back. And since that last press was pretty much like this, I want to kind of change up the load in a way. Okay. Same thing. Oh my God. Let's go do some incline Smith. This pre-exhausted, it should feel pretty good without even needing that much weight. Would not have expected it, but 3 plates actually feels pretty freaking reasonable. So I'm gonna get amped up, get some music playing, and go nuts here. Oh my God. Oh, let's just do the one. I think if I keep trying to push these incline Smith sets, I might feel it a little too much for the next chest day. No need to overload like crazy, but that's a good, really kind of heavier stimulus style set. But I think I want to finish with the more pump-inducing fly superset with like some cable press. I really only think I need one more set, so let's go find out what it's going to be. Bent over cable press first, widen and lower the cables, finish with some nasty flies. And my goal is to get as much blood in my chest as possible. All right. Holy crap. Let's go pose down. Chest freaking complete. Okay, so let's do a little recap. Cable press, cable press, cable press, cable fly, cable fly. I feel like there was 2 of those for sure. 1 good heavy set of incline Smith, and then a finisher superset back on kind of a bent over cable press with some flies to kind of counteract them. 7 total working sets, hitting some heavy, really hard kind of tension focus work, mainly with just the one set of incline Smith, but then totally countering that with a lot of lighter squeezing kind of burning work. Hey man, I feel like I hit my chest from all angles in all ways, and I think that today's chest pump is going to reflect that. So let's see how we're looking with this semi-natural, semi-unnatural lighting. But, ooh, yeah, this is actually freaking cool. Maybe I got to start lifting a little bit earlier so I can take advantage of this. Let me get this down just a touch. There we go. It would seem that the freaking 2 hours of cardio is beginning to show some results. I can even see some ab veins kind of creeping up my stomach. Let me do a little breath hold and try to really poke them out. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Holy crap. That just made me pretty freaking lightheaded. But overall, feeling like a beast. Shoulder striations are coming in quite freaking nicely. Goodness. Okay, holy crap. Oh shit. That is a cool side tricep for me. Let me hit that a little better. Yeah, not so much here, but I'm detecting a touch of tricep striations on the left side. Nothing wild. I think I need bigger triceps to see anything like, chest grain level on those. But the forearms, they've definitely got some detail. All this kind of fanciness here on the back, you know what I attribute that to? It's not back days with no straps. It's sitting around camping out with like a 20-pound dumbbell, just doing these reverse curls. And then, of course, this sort of, bottom side that's kind of bent over dumbbell action or like single arm cable or double arm cable, little things like that. But let's, I don't want to leave. Let's just keep doing a couple more poses here. Oh, goodness. Holy crap. Oh, yeah. The deficit, the cardio, it is freaking working. So, speaking of cardio, that's what I gotta get back up there and do. Put a spare shirt on so I don't have to go home drenched. And I'll see you in the car in about 1 freaking hour's time. Okay. I am tired. I'm cold. It's early. It's winter time. Let's say you're trying to get serious about your diet, so you're not eating a ton of food. So you take all those negative factors and you add on top of it just being generally hungry, yeah, not awesome to do cardio in, right? And frankly, I'm not looking forward to my cardio at all. Lucky for me, I already did it. It's over. The seated bike. So when I say seated bike, I mean the one where the pedals are like in front of your feet. Oops. My backpack's too heavy. Thinks it's a person. But I mean the one when the pedals are like in front of you and you're sitting down kind of in more of a reclined kind of state. That's what I mean when I say seated bike. So the cardio from today was just a regular one where, you know, the pedals are beneath me. But whatever. It ended up working out pretty much freaking perfectly. So camped out, had a bunch of explore with us. You can look it up, Iwu true crime stories planned. Those are a really good way for me to pass the time. And then now I get to go back home. The sun is not even freaking up, which does make you feel kind of cool. I mean, if you've never done it before, there is a little bit of a just general coolness factor of doing something extra early like that, having it done, because it's what is it? It's, you know, that clip of Mike Tyson when he's talking about training for whatever, and he gets up at 4 a.m. and runs. He's like, you know, I'm training while everybody else is sleeping. You know, that there's definitely some kind of little hype sense to that for sure. Like, you just feel like you're more productive. But what I was getting at was with the cardio in the morning, like if you're gonna lock into it, if you're gonna add that to the routine, do it ASAP. That's one little sort of tidbit about having like a cardio bike at like your apartment gym that's really close to where you live, or if you've got like a piece of cardio equipment in the basement or in your living room or wherever, be it treadmill, or if you want to go out on a jog, if that's your thing. I'm more of a stationary cardio kind of guy myself, but you know, you do you. Do it as soon as possible in the morning, because the sooner you start it, the sooner it's over, and the sooner it's done, and the sooner you get to say, oh, nice. Because I kind of derailed myself, but what I meant in the car earlier, when I was just saying like, oh, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm everything. You got to rip the Band-Aid off, man. Make this shit happen. Because then, now I get to chill. I mean, I was camping out in the car for like 15 minutes, just scrolling Instagram, waiting for it to heat up. And this is very nice. Yeah, this is a good feeling. So now I get to go back home, lay around in bed for a little bit before I really get ready to get up and do all my stuff. And then I've got back later today. So I kind of, oh yeah, I did not end up recording the drive back from chest because I was really in a rush. Because after I finished the hour of cardio after that chest workout, I barely made it to the FedEx store in time. They closed at 6. I made it there at about 5:55. Returned like a pair of Converse that didn't fit me that I ordered, and like a pair of snow boots. Then I had to make it over to the UPS store, another 25-ish minutes away, and they closed at 6:30. But I managed to make it there in time as well. So finished all my post-workout chores. And then now it's the next day. So chest-wise, I really don't feel my chest that much in terms of any kind of like crazy soreness. And it doesn't surprise me because I didn't really do any insane, chest destroying work. Right? I mean, I went hard, I got a pump. I did do some heavy sets, really just that one set of incline Smith. But that's all I'm really aiming for, right? I need a pump, I need muscular stimulation to maintain all the beef I've got built up already. And then, I was about to say little things like this. Things like the cardio and the deficit, those are what's improving my sort of rate of fat loss, because lowering the food intake gradually over time, right? Decreasing the calorie intake, as well as increasing my energy expenditure throughout the day by adding the cardio. What that does is it widens, or at least maintains, this gap between food that I eat down here and energy that I burn up here. And this gap is filled by my body's burning of the body fat I've got stored up all around to maintain regular ass freaking function, you know? Because if your body has to run off of 2,000 calories per day just to, you know, keep you alive, and a lot of that is a very passive act on your part. I mean, most of the calories that I'm burning every day, it isn't from the cardio, and it's not from the workouts. It's just, you know, keeping all the muscle I've got in my body oxygenated and pumping blood and pumping out heat. Because, I mean, as much as you feel like you're really pushing it, your body's actually more of a heat engine than it is anything else. I mean, I'm talking, I think it's what, like 70% of the energy that you burn every day is just in, you know, generating heat. You know, we're freaking warm-blooded. So, all that's to say is, if I want to continue to get leaner, then I gotta make sure that I keep this gap as wide as I can maintain. Because if you try to go too crazy too quick, and you know, you go from eating a regular ass diet of whatever you're hungry for to now trying to like completely starve yourself off the rip, then you know, there's no what's the word I'm thinking of here? It's no surprise that, you know, people kind of give up on dieting like extra soon and quick, because a lot of the times when people think about dieting, the stigma is, okay, you cannot eat anything that you like. You only have to eat chicken. You only get to eat like chicken, broccoli, you know, freaking vegetables with salt and pepper. And, you know, people kind of approach that a little gung-ho at times, where it's like, all right, I'm going to get real here. And then really all they end up doing is starving themselves. Like, they eat nothing. They try to basically just fast as long as possible. And then it's like, oh man, I can't deal with this. It's like, yeah, no wonder, man. You just dropped your calorie intake by 2,000. You know, you only need a marginal deficit. Like, when guys talk about how difficult the dieting is, or man, I just can't seem to lose any body fat, man, it's not like you have to completely kill it on a daily basis like eating zilch. I think it's really just a lack of information, because I mean, nobody learns about dieting. Like, even the food classes in school are pretty rudimentary. They barely get into it. Or like the food and health classes, because if you wanted to get leaner, or take a guy and, you know, have him start burning body fat, all you would have to do is decrease his average calorie intake. If he's just staying the exact same weight, all you'd have to do is reduce his calorie intake by 10%. Just a 10% drop. I mean, nothing too crazy. And then if you're consistent with that, then the dude would get freaking lean. The problem is most diets are regulated purely based on natural instinct, which usually works fine. Eat when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're not hungry. You're good, you know. But if you want to make changes to your body's kind of composition, you want to get bigger, you want to get leaner, then you kind of have to fight that instinct. And if you're trying to bulk up, you got to eat when you're not that hungry. Or if you're trying to cut down, you've got to not eat when you're hungry. And it is much easier said than done, I can assure you. You know, I'm definitely getting reasonably skilled and proficient at like sticking to these diets and making crazy like bulking to dieting kind of phases and everything. But it's definitely not like a passive activity, especially with the deficit now. I mean, this has taken a pretty good amount of my sort of focus to make sure I don't just go completely off the freaking rails. But I think that's all I gotta say there. I can tell I'm running on low blood sugar because I haven't eaten anything yet, right? That was an hour of fasted cardio, a little bit more, well, not necessarily more productive by any means. It's really my only motivation for not eating anything pre-cardio is I've only got so much food to eat. I'd rather eat it later in the day. Like, for me to eat 500 calories before this cardio, I mean, it might make me feel full for a little bit, but I would end up just being extra hungry again later, because for me at least, once I open the floodgates, once I start, you know, getting some calories in, then like the likelihood that I want to come back and eat something within the hour, it kind of like increases. It's not as hard for me to wait until like even 10 to to have meal number 1, and then usually I'll try to stretch that for as long as possible before meal number 2. Go lift, go do cardio, come back, try to do some housework just to keep my hands busy, then have meal number 3 and have hopefully at least 600 or 650 calories left for a pre-bed meal. Because going to bed hungry, that is a challenge for me. I find that very difficult. Like if let's say I'm eating 2100 calories, which I've kind of been bouncing around. Like it's I think the sweet spot I'm hitting right now is about 21ish, 22. I was doing 2 for a couple of days, but I think that was a little too low, so kind of 21ish. But let's say I'm eating 2000 just for argument's sake. If I hit that 2000 mark at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and now I have to go until 10 or whatever, go to sleep and eat nothing else, that's extremely hard for me. The likelihood that I'm going to say, I got to eat something, even if it's just like a little, like I try to be as calorie smart as I can with it, and just eat like a bowl of steamed broccoli with some chicken and barbecue sauce or whatever. Like it's still calories at the end of the day. Like that's very hard for me to do. So it's much easier if I save calories for later and kind of allocate most of my intake for later in the day into the night, because then I get to go to bed with, sometimes a really full stomach. Like last night I went to bed and I almost ate till I felt sick, and not because I ate like so much food. It's because I got to leave myself a good amount and still hit my calorie limit, and have a big ass bowl of salad, side of ground beef, fat-free cheese, sugar-free G. Hughes barbecue sauce, which frankly the hickory smoked one, I got a couple of comments saying I should try that instead of the standard barbecue. Did not care for it. You guys totally put me off. I should have just got more of the regular one. But it's neither here nor there, right? All advice is good. You just gotta kind of learn from it. But I get to eat a pretty substantially sized meal, not in terms of calories, but in terms of its overall volume. And I got to go to bed feeling good. I slept like a freaking baby, because for me, going to bed with a full stomach, it's a lot more enjoyable than going to bed kind of rolling over, trying to keep myself from getting up and going to the pantry. And it's just a bad situation to put myself in, because then I'm going to feel bad that I went up to the kitchen and I was like, oh crap, I just overate by 400 calories. Shit. Should have been smarter about my calories during the daytime, So if you're just aiming for regular kind of casual fat loss, not that it's like regular and casual, you don't have to be on it 100% of the time. Like I've definitely had some days, even this diet, where I went like totally freaking bananas. I got to go through all my tracked calories and show off like a couple of pretty insane spikes that happened. There was only 2, but they were pretty big in terms of my calorie intake as refeeds. Maybe a little bit over refed. But what every so often, you can have a day like that. But obviously, the more that you can be consistently actually in your calorie deficit, your results are going to show. And that's where the scale is really your best friend, because there's a lot of nuance to it. Even the nutrition labels on all sorts of foods and like protein bars and everything else. Like I used to love Carb Master chocolate milk. It was the macros were awesome. I could have like 2 full cups of what tasted like regular chocolate milk, and it was like just really good. And it said it was only like 100 calories, or I forget the macros exactly, but I could tell I was drinking a lot of it because I'm like, oh, these macros are sweet, love it. And I would like cease to lose weight consistently. Like I would wake up slightly heavier, and like I could tell, I think they're totally BS in those calorie numbers, So given that, right, sometimes you might think that you're eating this much, but really you're eating this much because of random discrepancies, and well, not random, intentional by the company, right? Because it in some way saves them money. But if you can look at the scale and watch your weight progress consistently over time, or look back over averages, then that can really kind of indicate to you, okay, I am on track. The calories and the foods that I've been eating have been working. Let's keep this up. Or, crap, I've been trying to, get under 240 or get under 220 or whatever, and I just can't seem to do it. What that means is this discrepancy between energy burned and energy consumed, it's not large enough, if even present at all. So that should be a cue. If the scale isn't changing, you've got to either increase cardio or decrease calories. And typically the best answer is going to be a little bit of both, right? More cardio plus less calories, more body fat burned. So that's all I gotta say there. But I'll end up seeing you tomorrow for what I hope to be a pretty dang freaky back pump, and I'm gonna add some rear delts and a little bit of side delts as well, just for freaking, well, not just for kicks, but I mean, I haven't really needed to thrash shoulders in quite a while. They're a bit overdeveloped relative to my arms and chest and everything else, so they get a little bit of a back seat when it comes to the lifts. But that's all I gotta say. So I will see you for back.